Thanks for your question. Can I thank the member for her recent report on this matter? Like her, I want to eradicate all loss of life and serious injuries from London streets, and that's why I remain committed to achieving Vision Zero by 2041. The good news is that since launching the Vision Zero Action Plan in 2018, TfL, in collaboration with the London boroughs, the Met Police Service and other partners, has delivered real tangible progress on road safety. There were 24% fewer people killed or seriously injured in 2024 compared to the average in 2010-2014, which is the year that the base starts from. This has meant a reduction of 1,162 people injured in that year alone, with fewer families and communities impacted as a result. The original action plan included major improvements, including the introduction of the lowering speeds limit programme, the rollout of the direct vision standard, and a focus by the Met Police to improve speed enforcement. Since 2018, TfL's bus safety standard has introduced safer bus designs, including intelligent speed limit technology, audible electric buses, and front-end changes to reduce collision impact. These safety innovations are world-leading. Such measurements have resulted in London making faster progress to reduce the number of people killed or seriously injured than the rest of the country, making London one of the safest major cities in the world. There is no doubt our target is ambitious, underscoring the need for TfL and its partners to intensify efforts. That is why, while producing the Vision Zero Action Plan 2, TfL has reflected on lessons learned and responded to evolving challenges and opportunities across the network. TfL's continued work with boroughs will be key. It is by working together that they can introduce more 20 miles per hour speed limits. We can continue investing in high streets where traffic creates significant risk and ensure pedestrians and cyclists feel safer through improved infrastructure. It's also vital that TfL continues to work with the Met Police to retain a strong focus on enforcement action against criminal and antisocial road user behaviour. Behind the numbers, she'll be where every road victim is an individual, and that's why I remain committed to eliminating all deaths and serious injuries from London's transport networks by 2041. And I'll continue to work with her, TfL, London boroughs and the Met to make our streets safer for all road users, using Vision Zero Action Plan 2 to provide a unified approach.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you for noticing my report, which is full of suggestions for Vision Zero Action Plan 2, mainly practical ideas about making our roads, our streets physically safer, lobbying for better road rules, and changing the way we talk about road death and injury, because that is so important for the survivors of terrible crashes and bereaved families. Now, at the launch of the report out there in the London living room, we heard from survivor Victoria Lebrec. She lost a leg after being run over by a skip lorry while cycling back in 2014. Since then, 2 other women have each lost a leg on the same stretch of road. And you could have heard a pin drop when she described her acute distress at hearing that a 4th woman had been killed riding her bike on the same stretch of road. Now, when a crash happens on the railways, an investigation takes place and lessons are learned, and you would never have 4 separate crashes on one stretch of railway. So how will Vision Zero Action Plan 2 ensure that roads where a person has been killed or seriously injured will have that same kind of urgent, in-depth treatment?
Well, firstly, can I thank her for raising not just Victoria's case, but the other cases as well. Humanising this is really important. Secondly, one of the joys of Mayor's Question Time is often I get to read reports otherwise wouldn't, and I've read her report and the 25 recommendations, and I'll make sure those are taken on board by the team that's drafting the new action plan. But she's right in terms of lessons not being learned. And there's a phrase that I hate, which is cost-benefit when it comes to these sorts of things. And I think in the rail industry, I know because my firm was involved in a previous public inquiry, that was a phrase used there as well about cost-benefit, the cost of doing the works and the benefit and so forth. And because the numbers are huge on the train, you can understand why it changed the viewing and stuff. We've got to understand one life injured, one life lost is one too many, and get away from the crude cost-benefit analysis. So can I take away the point she said and try and share with the TfL team what she said and the way she said it, so they can understand why it's really important to make sure that the misery is not compounded by hearing somebody else suffer the same thing as you. Thank you.
And I think it's not a question of spending huge amounts of extra money. You could do things but just by reducing speed limits at that kind of a location, because it's clearly somewhere where there are risks and dangers.
Just interrupt on that. She's raised a really important point. She should understand the difference she has made with public education. So we now have the data. In the first year of 20 miles per hour, 25% fewer collisions, 24% fewer people killed and seriously injured. And so that shows a difference we can make by little things, simple things, reducing the speed.
Exactly. And it's really important we remember that those things are about saving lives, not about making people's lives more inconvenient on their journeys. Helsinki, in August this year, managed to achieve a whole year with not a single road death on their streets. So it is possible to do. And I really appreciate that Andy Lord, the Commissioner, wants there to be a step change in action on Vision Zero. So I think that the sort of really important thing that you can take away from this is that bereaved families need to know that you are still taking a leadership role on Vision Zero to bring all Londoners, people working at TfL, the boroughs, the bus operators, everyone who drives on the roads, bring everyone together so that we can all get behind this as a real mission, because we could be doing so much better.
Can I just echo every word she said? That's my promise I make to her. And just, I've got to make this point. This is not anti-car. This is really not anti-car. This is pro-safety. And I'd challenge anybody who thinks it's anti-car just to meet some of the people that Caroline meets regularly and I meet regularly to hear some of their stories.
Thank you.